Well, howdy folks. Welcome to session number 22 of Bareback Jack songs. And so now, Dad has a record deal. After all that hard work, all the miles put in, and the albums, 22 albums he put out on his own. Now he's signed with Capitol Records. And actually at the time it was called Liberty Records, but it was basically the same thing, I think. It was owned by Jimmy Bowen. And just a little story, I remember when Dad was getting ready to sign his deal, he was a little concerned, maybe worried that because he's signing this major label deal, he might have to move to Nashville. Well, Jimmy Bowen said, no, you don't need to be moving down here. He said, I recommend that you don't. You just stay in Wyoming and keep writing those rodeo and cowboy songs, because if you do move down here, there's a possibility where it could change who you are. But I really don't see how that would happen anyway. So this is the first album off of Capitol Records, or Liberty Records, whatever you call it, Western Underground. Yeah, and a pretty cool picture on the back. And this was actually the introduction of the legendary K.W. Turnbow as well. So Gary Bemis Bodley on bass, Mark Sissel on lead guitar, Bobby Jensen on keyboards, and K-Dub on drums. And one cool thing about it, I think I'll have to look back through, but the first bunch of albums that, studio albums that Dad did with Capitol, he had Western Underground play in the studio with him. So that was pretty neat. And one more story before I get to the song. Is I remember when Dad got home from Nashville, from signing his record deal, he went into his rigging bag, with his rigging and his glove and his shaps and all that stuff that he rodeoed with, and he pulled out his glove, that he won the world with. And he found a hammer and a nail, and he just drove this nail in some random place in the house and hung that glove up on it. And then he reached in his shirt pocket and pulled out this pen. But it wasn't just any regular pen. This pen signed the contract for the record deal. So it was to have the glove and the pen together. It was just two very well-earned and deserving couple of things. Pretty big deal. So the song I picked off of here, it was the last track. There's 10 songs on here. And I'll go through the list for you real quick. Try not to drag this out too much. But you had County Fair, Riding for a Fall, Thank the Cowboy for the Ride, Cadillac Cowboy, This Cowboy's Hat, recorded once again. Shot Full of Love, the last drive-in, Yellow Brick Road, Turns Blue, Setting the Woods on Fire, and the one I'm going to do is Working Man's Dollar. Okay. I'm just a working man's dollar in the pocket of these old blue jeans. I ain't like my Wall Street brother, he's in the bank so shiny and clean. Well, I'm faded and I'm wrinkled, tattered and stained with sweat, but I'm the first one to call when Uncle Sam needs a hand with the national debt. I've been wages for the farmhand, for driving that old John Deere. Been late on a bar in a tavern to buy the working man a nice cold beer. Been taped to a truck stop waitress, taped where I was torn, and in the hand of a child I was laid on a plate in a church on a Sunday morn. They say I'm the root of all evil, I bring lust, power, and greed, but this working man's dollar only buys the things a working man really needs. They say I'm worth about 50 cents in this modern inflated age. Don't tell that to the young man slaving, making on a minimum wage. Well, that single working mother, she We've been scraping to make ends meet, to make the house a home, keep food on the table and shoes on the baby's feet. Well, I know my days are numbered. I'm getting threadbare and wearing thin, and they'll replace me with another, but I'd do it all again. 'Cause I've seen this great big country pass from hand to calloused hand, and I've got to say that I'm mighty proud I belong to that working man. They say I'm the root of all evil, I bring lust, power, and greed, but this working man's dollar only buys the things a working man really needs. So that 1990 Western Underground album, record deal days.